What the f*** are we doing here? What a stupid action! I'm going home.
What is up, guys, and welcome to F1 2011. We did the prequel to this F1 2010, and here we are with the second, or technically third game. I'd say the second proper game that Codemasters ever made. We still have the whole paddock feel, which is really, really awesome, but I feel like this was, for me, was the first like new Formula 1 game that I had to wait for. There was anticipation for trying out the game in career mode, but league racing as well was huge for me back in the day. And there are many improvements that they made upon with this game. They increased the, I think, player size in multiplayer. They introduced the safety car. The handling model got completely revamped. The very floaty, oversteery handling model, which really favored the pad. No, which really disadvantaged the pad and advantaged the wheel users. The graphics are a lot more brighter and vibrant. You would say that it almost looks a bit cartoonish, which you'll see in a moment once we actually get into the action. But yeah, this was a very big step in the F1 game franchise. However, in some areas it did take a little bit of a backward step, mainly in handling and gameplay, possibly. But we do have the pre-season test, which is also new.
Thanks for giving up your time and welcome to Formula 1. My name's David Croft and I've been getting lots of tweets from your fans at home who want to know a bit more about you. So let's start off with your full name.
Hello, Crofty. You see that little red barrel off to the side? I feel like I should shoot that and it should explode. Though that would cause some dramas in the F1 paddock, I would imagine. Alright, nationality. Where are we from? Australasia. New Zealand, that's right.
Following on from a pretty intensive pre-season test, you must be itching to get your F1 career underway in Melbourne. What are your expectations heading into your first season?
You know, never played the F1 game before. I'm a bit of a noob, so I'm gonna go that one.
Great stuff. I look forward to seeing just how you get on in Australia. So good luck.
Cheers, Crofty. He actually looks like Crofty in this game. Bloody, bloody, blah. Formula 1's new rules? There wasn't new rules. Oh, yes, there was. I am mistaken. KERS and DRS. How could I forget? You actually have to manually press the button for KERS. Which, when I first did it, I was like, oh god, I can't handle all this management. Oh, how naive I was back in the day. You have to be like an octopus to operate an F1 car these days. Very nice. Very nice. So, this is HRT. What does a big budget team like this get you? Well, I'll tell you what, it gets you British plugs. British plugs. This was back before Brexit happened. Now we have to plug in the stupid Euro plug, so that's a thing. We have a white helmet. We can't afford to paint our helmet. In HRT, we've got a big old boy monitor with thick bezels, about as thick as the TV. And we've got a couple of old mates over there just standing around doing nothing. So that is about everything that goes on here at HRT. Let's check the race calendar. What do we got here? We got Australia, Malaysia, Turkey. Oh, I don't know why I didn't do Turkey in the 2010 video. Maybe I'll do it today. Europe, which is Valencia. This is Nürburgring. Any others? Oh, South Korea and India. This is a rare opportunity to try a couple of those tracks. Why does it's a bit weird to me, but like the game kind of looks more high res than what these pictures do. They look like they're taken on a bit of a potato camera, which is interesting. Let's jump in the World Champions car. Sebastian Vettel, only 19 podiums. Only 10 race wins back in these days. 62 Grand Prix against his name. And only one World Drivers' Championship. Seb, you're a bit of a noob, it seems. Let's go short race weekends. Shall I chuck this on the maximum difficult? Why not? Why the hell not? Legend? Yeah, no such thing as ultimate AI. Codemasters, people kept getting better at the games. They had to keep on adding difficulties above where we already had them.
Hey, welcome to the garage. Let me show you around.
I'd rather navigate the Windows Live menus than listen to him. Thank you. Okay. Quit. I don't want to listen to Andy anymore. Oh, we shortcutted that. Okay, that actually worked. Awesome.
This screen provides you with live timing information and allows you to fast forward time within the current session.
Thanks, Andy.
On this screen, you can see...
Right, Andy, I'm not blind. I know what I'm doing, alright? Tiametmarduk you're talking to here. Can't wait for the 100% chance of rain on race day. That's gonna be marvelous. Alright, let's put these graphics to the test, shall we? Let's get out there.
There'll be a lack of rubber out on track. Take it easy for a couple of laps.
How are the front wheels spinning before I'm even moving? The car was on the ground. But my goodness, look at this. This is the Indian Grand Prix circuit. How do I change? I can't change camera angle in the pit lane, so that's marvelous. Lots of fans here. Thank you all for the turnout. This is weird. Such a weird sensation. Everything feels off. The head movement, like Seb's head, isn't moving at all. He's just stationary. You can't see the driver's hands. Oh! On this game, you could open DRS anywhere in qualifying. We used to do this really cool thing in practice for league racing. Is we'd see who was the bravest and like go up our roofs with DRS open. Oh, we've got to try this. We'll do that after this race. Yeah, there was so much you could do on this game. A little bit more freedom. Safety car actually worked. There was red flags. I remember it being such a huge deal. Red flags being a thing. You can blow up your engine on this game as well. Madness. Ready? I'm going to blow up my engine right now. I can do it on demand. And there it goes. We have blown up the engine. Oh, what the f- Are you serious? Is that like as far back as the replay goes? That's like 2 seconds. Wonderful.
You serious?
Yeah. P0 first and jump out safe.
Yeah. Bring back the fucking V12s.
I know, Seb. Those days are gone.
The car setup screen allows you to fine-tune your car's settings. Alternatively, you could leave
Andy,
some of the default settings.
I do not need to know. I was playing this game when you were in nappies. I don't need to hear it. Right, let's go. Full bottom, spring stiffness all the way to 11. Big controversy back in the day. 11 springs would give you like 2 or 3 seconds worth of performance. It's quite outrageous. We had this little gentleman's agreement in AOR. Everyone was meant to run on 6.6 suspension stiffness, but you know that there were some people who were running 11 and getting away with it. Because at one point halfway through the game cycle, they patched it. And all of a sudden, these select couple of drivers just like completely lost all of their pace, which was funny. No such thing as strict corner cutting in these days. Oh yeah, what the? Oh yeah, side pod glitch. Side pod glitch was a... I can't recover from that. I can't recover from that! Okay, I'm gonna go full lock left, and I ghost through him. Marvelous game. Side-by-side racing in league racing, it just wasn't a thing because side point glitch.
Your front wing's taken some slight damage.
I know,
Stay
Jeff.
out the left
How
corner.
pointless are these rewinds? I've just hit the wall. I can't even rewind. You have to have like the reflexes of a cat in order to get a replay that's good enough to go back. What the hell? Another thing I remember as well is having to absolutely mash down the gears. Because the game just let you get away with it. So you could go from 7th to 1st in like half a second. I'll do it at the end of this straight, but hopefully I won't blow up the engine. Purple in the first sector. Woo-hoo-hoo! Very, very fast. However, you did leave yourself at risk of blowing up your engine, so there's that. Oh, that's a corner cut. We got away with it though. Now this is the section where I really miss having a wheel because you could change direction so quickly. It was lock-to-lock steering with the wheel as well. No such thing as friction or like slip angles on this game. So that's why the wheel was like such an advantage. F1 2012 got a major rework in terms of the handling to accommodate that. But yeah, this really was a broken game in the handling department. Up to the line, let's cross it and see if we get pole. We do. It's a 124.3 maximum difficulty. I've not played this game in 8 years. Absolute madness. We're on pole. We're in the usuals on pole, by the way. 2/10. I'll take it. Mark Webber, underperforming as per usual. Red Bull was pretty dominant in this year of F1. Alonso, P3, not too bad from him. And then we got the back markers, nearly 7 seconds off the pace. I think it was around this time. It might have been 2012 when they introduced the 107% rule. It was to stop these slow bastards like these guys being basically GP2 cars and still taking part in Grand Prix. But there you go. That's qualifying. I'm going to push myself to the back for the race. It's going to be heavy rain as well, I think. So that's certainly going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. So let's go to the race and let's see if our pace holds true in changeable conditions too. Where did these cutscenes go? Bring them back, Cody's. Parc Ferme. These wheels are spinning! Oh, what is this game? Let's hopefully have some warning when the race is going to go out, shall we? I mean, with the lights right there, it's going to be pretty hard to miss what's actually cracking off here. But 5 red lights and away we go. I get the feeling that I am massively faster than this F1 grid, so we are gonna... Can we all... Come on, guys! I thought it would have taken... I thought it would have been a lot quicker for you guys to get through than that, but away we go for the Indian Grand Prix. I say a lot of country name Grand Prix, and Indian... Wow, it's been a long time since I've said that. Really doesn't roll off the tongue, does it? Anyway, Paul di Resta, he's getting mugged off left, right, and centre by much slower cars. Let's chuck it up in a ridge. Deploy a bit of curves here. We can manually deploy that. How wonderful is that? Driver control, bring it back. It's what you want to see. Oh!
Move was far too aggressive.
I've hit Maldonado. Or shall I say, Maldonado has hit me. I'm sure the stewards will favour my side based on you know, his reputation. So we shall see. What am I doing with the fuel map? There we go. It's a little bit, it takes longer to switch the fuel map on this game. If you have the MFD open on the current games, you can just go, it's just one arrow stick left or right to go from standard to rich and vice versa. So, yeah, well done Cody's on that front. Carter Kane, I can't believe it's taken me this long to get in front of this guy. Let's see if we can smash past him. Oh. Bloody hell. Nerve-wracking scenes here in this Indian Grand Prix. It's a nice track. I actually really enjoy racing around here. And if you would have seen my F1 2020 video yesterday, I talked about classic tracks, and this is certainly one we could bring back. Although it's not like up there as like a classic track, but it is a game. It is a track that's been in the F1 game in the past. So by that regard, it is kind of a classic track. Let's rewind. Can I save this? Probably can. Oh, Alguersuari with the back end loss. That was tasty. Let's see if we can get up his inside here. Into the double left-hander. I gotta say, graphics look pretty good. Not too bad for, 8 years ago. I'm on PC. I mean, console will probably look a lot worse because it's, what was it, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. I never raced these older games on PC. The first PC game that I got on F1 that I probably played was F1 2013, I want to say. What is that line there from Schumacher? What are you doing there, pal? Oh, that was very close to smashing into the back of Schumacher there. But we're through. P12. Oh, what's Webber doing in P10? He's going backwards. The spray works pretty well as well. I thought F1 2019 was... Oh, sparks as well. Didn't know these existed on this game. Fair play. Into here, where Felipe Massa and Lewis Hamilton had their kerfuffle. 2011 was not a good year for Lewis Hamilton. By far, probably his worst year. I don't know where 09 ranks as well, but I don't think that was a good year for him as well.
Don't take out your teammate.
It's Mark, it's fine. Number 2 driver. Bloody hell, I feel like Superman in this car. I can do no wrong. Chris, are you going for a move? Are you going defensive, or are you just playing terrible at this game? What is it?
You guys have run the numbers, and we calculate that Rosberg will be pitting within the next 2 laps.
Thank you, Chief. I've definitely turned across Barrichello there. Yep. Will I get a penalty? Probably not. I used to think this game was absolutely horrendous for the handling. And to be fair, like it's not the greatest. It feels nicer to drive than F1 2010. I'll say that much. But for some reason, I always had F1 2010 above F1 2011 on my handling gauge. But I think after playing these now pretty much back to back, I think I have to change my opinion on that. I think this is a pretty good game, handling-wise. On the pad, I guess. But just forget about trying to be competitive. Here's the replay. Got on the power too early. Back end loss. Fair enough. But this is all very subjective. Like, this is me on the pad. I'm not playing competitively by any means. On the wheel, the lock-to-lock steering is ridiculous. Alonso and Kobayashi's line into turn 1 is horrendous. At least they're not sticking to a train, but I mean, that line's not great. Ah, the back end again. Alright, let's fly past Kobayashi. Oh, we've hit him. Sorry about that, pal. What a joke. How is this not corner cutting? I should be on like 10 seconds worth of penalties by now.
You need to find some speed. The car behind is closing in.
No, he's not! Oh, well, that's a corner cut. Okay. I don't even know if I corner cut there. What a yoke. Nice move though on Heidfeld. That was very clean.
There's a problem with curves. The guys are working on a fix.
Cool. Why Kurz needs to be removed from F1 2011. That's the title of this video. Oh my. That's disgusting. It's on. How am I getting away with this? This is what was allowed back in the day. People were league racing with these settings.
That's Massa. Go for the overtake.
No wonder I was competitive in AOR. Come on, pal. Get off the road. Car feels very loose. And we've gone purple as well. F1 2011. What a game. Oh. I definitely cut that, but there was no warning for that. Lovely. I'm bloody the fastest driver in this galaxy. And you're telling me that I'm getting caught by the driver behind. How is... Can I just do... I'm just going to do this. Is this allowed? Oh, that's a warning.
You need to pit in
That should be That should be a slam dunk 5-second time penalty. Minimum. But no, warning, it's fine. How many warnings are you allowed in a race before you get more than a slap on the wrist? That's not a warning! Codemasters. We're going to be having some words. That's going to do us for India. Let's move on to another classic. Which it will be, I have no idea. Anymore?
The stewards have black flagged you for dangerous driving. That's the end of our race.
I had brake problems.
What the f*** are you doing here? What a stupid action! I'm going home.
It's Mark Webber! It's my underachieving teammate, and it's the Cucumber. Welcome to the European Grand Prix. How do I change camera angles? That would be lovely to know. 5 red lights, and away we go for the European Grand Prix before it was known as Valencia. We are doing the Cucumber Challenge. Shout out to the OGs on the channel who knew what this series was all about. It brings back some wonderful memories. Taking people out. On a very old... I've taken him out twice. I don't even care.
Penalty for unsportsmanlike behaviour.
Don't even care.
Nothing we can do about it now. Stay focused and pit in the next 3 laps.
This thing is very lively compared to the Red Bull. Definitely just a touch less downforce, a touch less grip, and just a touch less just everything. God, this car is atrocious. My teammate, for reference, was 7.3 seconds off of pole in this qualifying session, leading into the race. So just please excuse me if I don't pull any miracles out of the bag in this race session. You think that Williams is bad in modern era. This is just something else. But that livery just makes up for it 100%. Could be you. Could have been me if I had, I don't know, about $50 million to enter in F1. It's all you needed to be a driver, a paid driver back in the day. Do you even have any paid drivers in F1 anymore? That's a genuine question. Are there any more like pay drivers in F1? Is there like anyone who's just genuinely terrible? Because I really don't feel like there is, to be honest. Oh dear. Problems. They crash. Oh, Buemi's.
Get that place back.
Buemi's. Oh, what is happening to Buemi here? Safety car has been deployed. Safety car has been deployed.
There's nothing we can do about it now. Stay focused and pit in the next 3 laps.
What's going on with Buemi's car? It's like he's chucking out a bunch of something. Oh, what a game. Safety car has been deployed. On F1 2011, this takes me back to one of my most popular videos ever on my channel. Safety car explodes my car. Back before I was a YouTuber properly. I think if it wasn't for that video, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. That video absolutely blew up to the point where it's at now, where it's, I think, well over 1 million views. I borrowed my sister's laptop back in the day. I didn't have a, well, I had a laptop, but it wasn't capable of enough of actually running the Elgato software to record gameplay. That's how terrible the laptop was. And so I had to borrow my sister's laptop, and she would only let me borrow it on weekends or like once a week, something like that. Like I could do it for my league race, and then if any other time apart from that, like it was a rarity. And this one time, she happened to let me borrow it, and that race happened. And I think without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. This is really, really crazy when I think about that. All of a sudden, it's we'll see if we can have a reunion with our old pal, the safety car. I've only had one safety car in F1 2019, and we've already matched that today in our second race. The problem is that I'm so slow, I actually don't know if I'm going to catch up to the queue before the safety car goes out. Oh, it's just dawned on me as well. I don't have curse. I don't have curse. You have to unlock that in career mode. And here we are at the end of this wonderful journey. We have finally caught up to the safety car. And I don't actually have full control over what I'm doing here. I'm full throttle, but... Thanks, Chief. I'm full throttle, but I can't go any further. Like, you guys know how it is now. We can just floor it. I can catch up to the safety car and blow it up if I want to. And there we go. Auto braking for me. It's not auto steering like on... Could it be auto steering? I don't know. I don't want to tempt fate here. Nah, I could easily die in a war if I wanted to. But let's not do that. Ah, man, I wanted to see the safety car. That's a shame. Let's unleash some hell before we get disqualified, though, shall we? Come on. Let me overtake that Marussia up ahead. It's all I want in life. I just want to race. Just let me race. Under race steward's review. One more corner cut, and I am a dead man. So let's make this count while we can. Codemasters, please. Classic tracks. Valencia needs to be on it.
You're currently faster in sector 1.
Thanks, Chief. D'Ambrosio, Buemi, D'Ambrosio, yes, you've run hilariously wide through there. Pass up in a P21, let's see if we can get team... Is that Glock? What a meme. Dive bomb. And there we go. We have overtaken him. There's the safety car, hello.
Exactly what we need. Push, push.
Push, push. I'm giving birth here.
You've been black flagged. That's our race over.
Ah, well that's it then. That is it. The corner cut. It's barely a corner cut on F1 2011 terms, but there we go. That is the slice and dice that has ended our last throw of the dice. I've run out of rhyming words, so I'm going to end here. Thank you guys so much for watching. That has been F1 2011. Very influential game, I suppose. But, that's,
Can't believe we're out. Park up, engine 2 off.
Can't believe we're out. With the amount of warnings, I think you probably should have saw that coming, Mr. Andy Knight. But yeah, like I said, that has been F1 2011 for today. I don't know if I can get rid of... Oh, I can change camera angles. This is news to me. Am I just going to leave the HUD up there like a barbarian then? Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys for a brand new video very soon. Let me know which game I should play next. We've still got F1 2012, 2013, up until... I don't know, at what point do we stop and say, okay, it's not really nostalgic anymore? I'd probably say like 2015. Maybe get to current gen. I feel like that's a little too soon. But who knows? If you really want to see me play a modern-ish F1 game that's still like not current, put it in the comments and I will do so. F1 Race Stars. We might even do that next. We'll leave it up to you guys to decide. But that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Might be a while now before I play F1 2011 again. Who knows? Might be another 8 years. But until then, I'll see you next time. Guy's face.